The Gaza Strip, once a bustling, vibrant community along the Mediterranean coast, now lies in ruins as it marks a grim milestone 1 year since the Israel-Hamas war began. Here's an up-close of the situation on the ground.
Gaza Strip, already strained by nearly 2 decades of an Israeli blockade, is now a landscape of devastation. A year of relentless bombardment has erased entire neighborhoods, uprooted families, and left essential infrastructure in tatters. The human toll is staggering. Hamas-controlled health authorities say 42,000 Palestinians have died. Countless missing and millions displaced. Gaza, once a bustling enclave, now bears the scars of war, while those who remain face a bleak and uncertain future.
We are displaced from school to school, from Gaza to Yarmouk, then back to the north, and then we flee again. We got displaced 5 or 6 times since the start of the war. We have been on this for a year. I swear we are exhausted.
Areas surrounding the Shifa hospital, Gaza's largest medical center, are flattened, leaving vital healthcare services crippled. High-rise buildings that once overlooked the sea are now piles of rubble, and the coastal highway is littered with remnants of destroyed buildings. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are forced to survive without electricity, clean water, or sanitation. Hunger and disease are spreading unchecked, while children and the elderly struggle to survive in the harsh conditions. With 40 million tons of debris to clear and an estimated $650 million required just to begin the cleanup, rebuilding seems an insurmountable challenge.
Before October 7, one had dreams. Me as a father, I have 6 children. My biggest burden was that I provide them with homes. I find them wives. But after October 7, this came to nothing. After 58 years of work for me, same as my father, all of it was gone to dust and rocks.
As the violence continues to escalate, involving Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah, and potentially Iran, fears are growing that the war could soon engulf the entire West Asia. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Well, it has been 1 year of violence in Gaza. Let's talk about the situation now on ground. Mohammed Najib is a journalist and security analyst. He is now joining us from Ramallah. Mr. Najib, thank you very much for making time for us and welcome to the broadcast. People around the world commemorated 1 year since Israel started bombarding Gaza. Some of them prayed, some of them protested. I don't know what happened in Ramallah or in West Bank to commemorate this 1 year.
Yes, actually, today, no time, hundreds of Palestinians commemorate that by organized peaceful marches in Ramallah, Bethlehem, Hebron, Jenin, Tul Karim, Nablus, and Kalkilia, as well as in Jericho, to denounce the Israeli continuous war against civilians in Gaza, whereas the casualties of 1 year exceeded 42,000 killed and another 97,000 injured and another 10,000 missed under the rubble, while the homes destroyed, as well as the shortage of food and the healthcare system collapse. So Gaza become a place is impossible for living, and they live in a very difficult conditions in Gaza, and the people here in the West Bank actually are angry. And also Israel imposed a blockade on the West Bank today, so people cannot travel between the West Bank cities, or some cannot go to their schools in the outskirts of Jerusalem. And the IDF continues its military operation in the West Bank. And until today, no time, Hamas fired 5 rockets toward Tel Aviv to show that it's still have its military arsenal after a year, and they're challenged to Israel. So the situation are difficult on the ground, and people are hoping that a ceasefire could take place and end this sufferance of more than 2 million Palestinians in the Gaza Strip.
Mr. Najib, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to continue with his military action, like you mentioned there. So who is going to speak for Gazans? Who's going to speak for the Palestinians now that they are actually urging over and over for a ceasefire?
Actually, Qatar and Egypt are negotiating on behalf of Hamas regarding the prisoner swap between Israel and Hamas, but also the international community, the regional countries like Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Egypt, and the European Union, as well as the United States, prefer that the Palestinian Authority, headed by President Mahmoud Abbas, to take over the Gaza Strip after the stop of the war. But the concerns now among the Palestinians, both Hamas and the Palestinian Authority, that Israel is planning to stay for a long time in the Gaza. It appointed a military commander to rule Gaza Strip and the people of Gaza affairs, and this means that Israel doesn't intend to withdraw from Gaza, and it's want to take control over Gaza or parts of Gaza for a long time. So that is frustrating for the Palestinians and for the observers of who the region wants to end this war and to rebuild Gaza Strip, and the Palestinian Authority can take control.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for talking to us. I've been talking to Mohammed Najib, who's a journalist and security analyst from Ramallah. Mr. Najib, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.